I have a question, and I mean this sincerely. I mean this with as much heart behind it as I possibly can. What are we doing here? Hey, what's up? My name is John Bonjour. I am a comic book artist and film enthusiast, and I just have to talk about Mandalorian versus Green. I have a list of notes on my phone titled Mando versus Green. Also, that's a pull from the Weekly Planet podcast. They call it Mandalorian versus Groglet, and I've been calling it Mando versus Green. So I just want to give credit where it's due vis-a-vis jokes. I have a medium to long list of things that I want to talk about for this movie, but really the most important thing, the thing that I'm like, why I needed to make this video, is it has been 7 years since the last Star Wars movie, and I find it wild that this is the movie that they choose to return with. This is the thing that they choose to put out, because I want to get ahead of it. I don't think Mandalorian versus Grogu is bad, and Grogu. It's called Mandalorian and Grogu, which is a bad title. I don't think this movie is not fun. I don't think this is an unentertaining movie. I just think that it is so confusing, and I said it's not bad, and I don't agree with that. I think it is a bad movie, but I think it's a bad movie that is fun and interesting, and I think that's more important than it being a good movie, probably, in this case. But it is just a bizarre choice to put this in theaters. It's a bizarre choice to make this at all. And I'm confused by what it is. There is the general reaction has been that this movie feels like several episodes of the TV show just kind of squashed together, which is true. It's not like a fun reaction. It's not an interesting take to have, because literally in the middle of this movie, the story is just kind of going, and then it resolves, and Mando's like, well, I'm gonna dick off to my homeworld until the next story starts, and he does, and there's like 10 minutes, and then some guy is like, well, it's time for me to kill you now. There's like a fade to black. I expected the credits to roll, and then the next piece of the movie starts. It's not smushed together. It is just watching a series of episodes. That is just what this is. That's not really a fun take. It's not really an interesting take to have, but I feel like it's worth saying. The thing that I find most frustrating about this movie is that there is zero character development whatsoever. Like, fun things are happening on screen, and I would like to talk about some of those in a moment. But those fun things only matter if there is a heart and story behind the movie, and there just isn't. Like, the plot of this movie is Mandalorian has to go get Rada the Hutt, who we will talk about. He has to go get Rada the Hutt for the twin Hutts, and then he kind of doesn't, and then they're angry, and then they try to get him. That's the plot of the movie, and the story of the movie is there's just some stuff happening. It's just like whatever is currently happening to or from the Mandalorian is what the story of the movie is. Which sounds boring, and sometimes it is. There are moments, which is damn near unforgivable for a Star Wars movie. There are moments where this is legitimately boring. I felt myself shifting in my seat. When Mando is poisoned, this is going to be spoilers as hell, by the way. When Mando is poisoned and Grogu is just like kind of taking care of him for 20 minutes in the forest, it's not an uninteresting moment. It just goes on for way too long, and he has a very weird scene where he goes to like an old bayou man who's sitting on his porch. Twice he goes to this, and it takes far too long to be that piece of the movie for Mando to just wake up and be like, the old take care of the young take care of the old, this is the way. And that's the only thing we talk about from that whatsoever. I'm going to consult my notes because I can feel myself getting away from it. Yes, the score does just haul ass. The score is so incredibly fun for this movie. Ludwig Göransson, I think that's the guy who did it. Let me make sure. But he did just an incredible... Yeah, it was Ludwig Göransson. He did such a good job that it made me think maybe this is a good movie, which it's not. But his score is so good, and I've been listening to it since. It's a very fun score, and it's a very energetic and weird thing. I like that each planet has its own sort of musical theme to it. I think that's very fun. And yeah, I mean, this is just... It's musically speaking, it's top-notch. Other things that I wanted to talk about... The baby stroller has a sport mode, which is a strange sentence and truth of this movie. There's a bit on a planet where they're flying through a city, and Grogu gets in a little baby stroller. Like, we see a small baby in the stroller, and the mom pulls the baby out of the stroller, and then Grogu gets in the stroller, and he flips the thing forward, he flips the Crocs into sport mode, and then he just takes off. Why is that an option? Why are you hitching your stroller to your truck? I understand, like, you had to have him get around. It is so funny to me that that's the way they choose to do it, because there's no acknowledgement that that was a stroller for a baby who would fly out of it if it was a regular baby without force powers. I'm gonna skip that one and come back to Chef Carmen. Pedro Pascal is doing something in this movie. He's doing the same thing he has done for the last 2 to 3 seasons of The Mandalorian. I love that he gets one scene to prove that he was actually there. And I love that they chose to use that scene to waterboard Pedro Pascal. I think that is hilarious. It is wild to me that that's the scene that he is shown in. It's also wild to me that, like, the whole point of The Mandalorian is that if he reveals his face, then he is shunned from the group, from the Mandalorians, unless he kills everyone who's seen his face. But there's no weight to it when it happens. Like, his helmet gets ripped off, and I don't know, I was grabbing popcorn out of my bucket, so maybe I missed some pivotal moment where there was like any emotion whatsoever reaction, but I don't think there was. I think his helmet just gets taken off, and he's like, well, I'm doing this now, and they're like, we've shamed you though, haven't we? And he's like, only if I don't kill you. And like, this movie overall is just so bizarrely low energy for so many energetic things happening. There's lots of explosions and flying around and going to a new planet to fight a new guy, and like a cool Kung Lao type like guy. I assume he's from Clone Wars. I haven't watched it yet. I'm watching through Star Wars, okay? I'm working my way through it. But I assume the guy with the hat is from something, because he's very specific if he's not. All of those things are happening. There are action sequences. There are exciting chases. There's pieces where you're supposed to care about it. There's even a little bit where Grogu and his band of merry men go on a little adventure. A thing I love in this movie, by the way. But all of it comes together to feel like the exact sum of its parts. It is not better or worse than what it is. It just feels like stuff happening, and if the stuff happening currently on screen is fun, then I'm having a fun time. And if it's not, then the movie has no momentum to carry me through those moments. So it is a moment-by-moment check-in, and that's probably not good, because a lot of the moments are kind of boring and don't really do anything for me. You know what? We're almost done. Jeremy Allen White. My sweet boy. My man. A guy who I think is extremely good. I think he's one of our best actors. I've been watching through The Bear recently. I just caught up with it, and he is stellar in that show. He was really good in The Iron Claw. He is very good as an actor. But whatever happened to get him here, he did not want to be a part of this. That is abundantly clear, because his character is so hilariously voiced. He just, maybe they did voice modulation. I don't want to assume. Maybe he was told to play it this way. I don't want to assume. But the delivery of every single line is so funny to me, because Mando comes up and he's like, I'm getting you out of here. And Rada the Hutt, the big ripped ass Hutt, he sits up and he's like, nah, it's okay, I'm doing all right. Like, that is his exact line delivery. And Mando's like, no, we have to get you out of here. And he's like, nah, no, I'm okay. And he has like emotional monologues later in the movie where he's like, my father, like, everybody was so scared of him, but now people like me. People cheer for me. He says that a lot. People cheer for me. They like me. I want to be here. I think it's crazy that it is such a lackluster tin can performance that really feels like this movie in a lot of ways. I don't intend to be negative about this. I don't want to come across like I didn't have fun. I think a lot of this movie is fun. I think a lot of this movie, on a moment-to-moment, just pure amusement park ride. Like, that is there. There is an entertainment factor to this movie that cannot be denied. I like when Grogu goes on a little side mission with those little guys. I love those little guys. I like when the one guy says that's a big pipe. I like that. That's fun. I like the action sequences. I think Mando, like, flying through an AT-AT, trying to take it all down, exploding things, riding one of those little ostriches down the side of the mountain, all of that is fun. There's a lot of fun to be had in this movie, and it looks good. Jon Favreau directed the holy hell out of this movie, so I can't blame him for it. But he also was at least 1/3 of writing this, so it's like I can blame him for that. I just don't. I really think that the core issue that I have with this film is it doesn't make any sense to me as a piece of something to release. I don't know why you put this in theaters, especially since contextually, it's not like the Mandalorian show is super, super beloved right now. I think a lot of people really fell off. I know I did in season 3. And we're just kind of like, okay, cool. Like, I guess that show's kind of done. Maybe I'll check in if they do another season. And then that is, to me, not the time to be like, and now we're doing a movie. As we put a movie in theaters, especially if that movie doesn't have any development. It doesn't feel like it deserves to be a movie based on anything that's happening. When they said they were doing a Mandalorian and Grogu movie, I was like, okay, let's see what they got. Because there's a world where you get 3 seasons of that show, and then a movie where he's facing his biggest enemy and he's like has to go on this big adventure, and it feels like Mad Max in Star Wars because he's always on the run and trying to find something. And that just isn't what this is. This legitimately does just feel like the TV show in bad ways, in ways that are not good, because there are cool moments in the TV show and this just doesn't engage with almost any of them. I think this is a wild call. This is just like, I'm confused by this movie. I don't hate it. I don't think it's the worst Star Wars movie. In fact, having watched episodes 1 and 2, it's not the worst Star Wars movie for sure. But it is a strange call. And it's also strange, this feels like the kind of thing that would be if they're putting 2 Star Wars movies out. There's one big one that they put out in December, and then there's a weird one that they put out in May. And this feels like the weird little May movie, and not like the December movie, which it's not. They put it out in May, to be fair, but there is no December movie. Like, the next Star Wars movie in theaters is Starfighter, and they, I think, just finished filming that. So it's like next year, if they are editing gods, like if they are miraculous, that movie will come out next year, and probably in 2028, which means we got a Star Wars movie collectively hated by almost everyone, 7 years, a Star Wars movie collectively by almost everyone, at least 2 years, and then who knows? But it's like, that's such a weird stretch to have. It's a mismanagement of a pretty vital IP. Like, if I'm Disney, I'm taking pretty good care of Star Wars, because that's a lot of money on the table, and I don't think this is the kind of thing you want to put out. If this had come out on Disney Plus as like oh, we're not doing a season 4, but we're doing a finale movie, sure, that's fine. That's fine. I think there's a lot of cool puppetry, a lot of cool stop motion. There's a lot of good integration of CGI and real, and like live action and puppetry and that kind of thing. All of that, I think, works really well on a technical level. It's solid. But man, it's just not a movie, though. Like, it's not like a real, actual movie. I'm confused by why you would put this out ever. So that's my thoughts. I don't know. What did you think? Did you see Mandalorian versus Green? And if you did, what did you think about it? Did you like it or not? Let me know. I can't talk about this movie anymore. Thank you so much for watching this video and checking out my channel. If you'd like to hear more of my thoughts on movies, comics, TV shows, anything of the like, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and comment down below what you would like to see next. Otherwise, do none of those things, because I am not your dad.